Hi everyone, my name is Jeffson. Welcome back to another FPL and football analysis video. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how my team performed in the previous game week, as well as how my team is looking like for the upcoming game week. I'm going to be giving you my view on the current FPL and football landscape as always. And yeah, if you like the video, I'd like you to give the video a like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get on with the video. Okay. Before we start, I would like viewers to take note that I've improved on the lighting of the video. I know in the previous videos, the should I say the light has been kind of dim, and yeah, I took note of that, and yeah, I've improved on the lighting of the video, gotten enough light for viewers to see my face, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, back to FPL. For Game Week 7, I had 39 points with a Game Week rank of 7.7 million, which shows that that was not like a good enough game week. I dropped from 8K rank to a rank of 28K. Overall points was 498, just 2 points shy of 500. Yeah, I think for the first 7 game weeks, I've had a brilliant start, and the rank drop does not too much of a concern. Just that few things to take note of. Yeah, that I've taken note of, but I think I'm still in a good spot when you compare my rank to other FPL experts. Yeah. So let's see how the team performed. For the goalkeeper Sanchez, I'm happy with the pick. I brought him in game week 3. Yeah, work out game 3. I got it in, and he has been brilliant for me in terms of saves, clean sheets, penalty saving, shot stopping. Brilliant. From a football perspective, I'm not happy with Sanchez, and I think if Maresca, I believe Maresca is a quality manager and he should be saying this, but from a football perspective, it's not the type of goalkeeper that Chelsea needs in terms of playing out of the back. We didn't see that against Nottingham Forest though, but against who was our opponent before Nottingham Forest? That game is 6 opponents. I think that was Wolves or someone or Bright. I think that was Brighton. Yeah, that was Brighton. So for that game, 6 opponents, we saw the way he was giving up chances, error leading to goal, catching him up in like the build up phase. He's not the type of goalkeeper that can like not the should I say the Allison or the David Raya quality that you need for a Chelsea setup. They set up in this type of 3-5 shape where Kukurea drifts into midfield to join Caicedo, and yes, that's brilliant. But for that setup to be fully effective, you need a goalkeeper who can play out on the back. Sanchez is brilliant in shot stopping, but not brilliant from a football perspective, playing out of the back, ball at his feet, passing long passes as well. He's not that type of keeper, and I think if Maresca takes note of that, he would. Chelsea has several goalkeepers that they can use, so I fear for Sanchez's spot. But for now, he stays until he's a problem for Chelsea. I would keep in my team. Moving on to the back line, Saliba, Gabriel, and Rico Lewis. Let me start from Rico Lewis. I got a from the press conferences on Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday? I guess for Everton. We got word that Nicolego was a doubt for for game week 7 that it could be out, but I wasn't certain, so I had to wait for Saturday if there were any leaks or so, and I got confirmation that he was not going to be available for the match on Saturday. There was no leak though, but since it was a 5:30 kickoff, there was no leak. But I got confirmation that I was going to be out, so I made the transfer, brought in Rico Lewis, and I'm 4 points up on that transfer. Moving to the double Arsenal defense, Saliba has been a horror show for me. I made a should I say a double swap in game week. I think that was 5. I took out Havertz and Pau Torres for Saliba and DCL, and I am several points down on that transfer. A minimum of 15 points down on that transfer. A minimum of 15 points, and I brought in Saliba because of the set piece threat. He has not actually posed any set piece threat. He's still yet to have a shot so far this season. and that is terrifying for me. 6 million asset. He yet to have a shot this season. So, but because the two opponents they've had, that's Leicester and Southampton, they are both teams are susceptible to set piece goals. So I just wanted to go for the upside, double up on Saliba and Gabriel. That has not gone so well so far, but yeah, let's see whether they will be in the team for game week 8. Going into the midfield, Salah had a quiet game again. I mentioned the same thing for game week 6 against Wolves. He had a quiet game in that match as well, but he got an opportunity for a penalty, took the penalty, scored. He had 10 points, brilliant. Coming into this game week, I think he had was subbed after the 70th minute or 75th minute mark. I'm not worried about that substitution because I think Salah himself has had a lot of minutes so far. Has had a lot of minutes so far. So I'm still going to be keeping him for the foreseeable future. I'm still going to be keeping him. I don't have any intention of selling him as of yet. Moving on to Kopama. Before I move on to Kopama, the setup of Liverpool. I'll speak on Liverpool in depth later in the video, but the setup of Liverpool, like they play in this 4-2-3-1 shape. At times a 4-3-3, at times a 4-2-3-1, depending on whether they're attacking or defending. But this set keeps Salah out. I'm not worried about him being out wide. I mean, he's a winger wide, but he has not been taking on defenders like we've seen in previous seasons. Yeah, I don't think he's scared of taking on defenders, but I don't know, maybe the setup prevents him from doing that as often as we would like. I think the setup prevents him from doing that. So he's not arriving in those positions for goals, not always arriving in those positions for assists. So those are just some little things that I'm keeping an eye on in terms of FPL for Salah. So, but I'm not worried. Liverpool still keeping clean sheets. Yeah, let's move to Kopama. Another brilliant performance. Yeah, I said it in previous video that I'm putting him in that caliber of Mo Salah, not from a football perspective, or from a FPL perspective. They're two different players, so not that I can compare both of them, but Kopama has that capability of huge hauls. We saw that in game week 6, 25 points, and he delivered yet again with an assist. He's that player. I think he has this video is coming up on Thursday. So yes, he won the England Men's Player of the Year. That just shows how brilliant he was last year, and he is still showing that brilliance. 90 minutes, set pieces, penalties. He's not in the squad for the Conference League, and he's not. He doesn't even play in the Carabao Cup. So every game week is going to be refreshed, fit, and available for every match. I love him. Similar thing with Mbomo, 90 minutes, penalties, Brentford's talisman, a 5-3 win against Wolves. Brentford scored 5 goals, only an attacking return from Mbomo, which was a penalty. We would have loved more, but we will take it. Has been brilliant for us so far. I think it's still at 7.5 billion. Great value, brilliant. Smith Rowe, Rogers, and yeah, okay, let me leave it at Smith Rowe and Rogers for now because they're still midfielders. Both players are going to be discussed in the transfer section because for a game week like this where my premiums, Alan, Palmer, and Salah didn't give me the type of points that I was hoping for, I need should I say, the lesser valued players, or should I say the budget players, let me use that word, the budget options to deliver if my premiums are going to blank. Like you can't, all of you can't blank at the same time. Like if I cannot rely on my premium, I'm relying on my premiums for most games, but if you cannot do that, I expect the budget options to, I think, at least a goal or an assist. Smith Rowe was benched not from a fitness point of view, but from a tactical point of view. For Marco Silva to take on Man City, he needed physical and more athletic midfielders just to not get run by Man City in midfield. You cannot win midfield battles against Man City, obviously, but if you're ever going to have a chance, you need athletic midfielders, and Smith is not that guy. That's why he was benched. And if that means for every difficult match that Fulham has, Smith will be benched, I don't want to see him in my team in the long term if that means he's going to be benched in difficult games. But I'm keeping an eye on him. Rogers, I think Aston Villa's midweek game, should I say, made it easy for. Funny saying, made it easy for Man U to have a draw. Like I think if they were more, if should I say, fitter or sharper, they would have blown Man U away. But Man U got into that game compact. They didn't want to lose. I think that's what that our main focus was in that match. They didn't want to lose. Johnny Evans was the best player on the pitch for Man U, and that just shows how not so impressive Man U is as a role. But from a Rogers point of view, Rogers is my player. I'm not always like for Rogers, I'm hoping he gets an attacking return. I'm not like backing on. I know Mbomo will get me an attacking return, but I'm hoping, but I don't want to hope my player gets a return. I want to be confident that my player gets a return. From a football perspective, he's brilliant. He brings the ball up from midfield to attack. He's always assisting the assister, if that makes sense as well. I want him to always be at the end of things for assists or for goals. He's not the striker, but he plays as a SS. So I still expect him to be in brilliant positions, not always getting those brilliant positions. So I'm going to be discussing him in the transfer section. Alan, 2 points, he blanked. I'm not worried about the blank, but I'm worried about the players that he has in terms of chance creation. Haaland as a footballer, like he's as a goal scorer, is brilliant. He's the best in the world in goal scoring, finishing, brilliant. But anything outside goal scoring, he's not the man. Like he cannot create chances for himself. He needs other people to create those chances for him. And without De Bruyne in that team, without the control in midfield they get from Rodri, he's not going to get enough chances. I don't think he had the big chance in the match against Fulham because of the way Fulham defended. So I'm still happy with him. He was captain. Yeah, this year Cavalier, another. I don't say it was a mistake of a transfer, but I transferred him. He has not delivered, and I'll be discussing the transfer section as well. The bench, Graves, nothing to speak of the bench. The bench are just there to be on the bench. So yeah, the transfer section. Um, Saliba, Rogers, Smith Rowe, and Diesel. Those are the players that I'm looking at for transfers. Um, Rico Lewis, I'm going to be keeping him for the next two fixtures. I know Rico Lewis could be benched in any match, but if he's going to play, I love him in my team. Gabriel is going to be a lock in my team until he has an injury. I just think he's brilliant set pieces, and I expect more goals from Gabriel against the tougher um, fixtures as compared to the easier fixtures. Because when Arsenal plays against those tougher teams, they tend to make matches like difficult for those opponents, and they rely more on set pieces. So who gets on the end of those set pieces? Gabriel. So I prefer him in those tougher fixtures. So I'm not going to be selling him. Saliba is one I'm going to be looking at for transfer. He's too expensive for what he offers. He's not giving me the clean sheet. I'm never expecting a lot of attack returns from him, but the base, the foundation, is not giving me that. He has to go. But for Game Week 6, I'm not sure I want to sell him because I'm expecting a clean sheet from Arsenal against Game Week 6. For Arsenal, they're better when they go away from home. They have this, they have this mentality of we're not going to, not even just we're not going to lose. We're going to go to your home. We're going to defend. We're going to be compact, and we're going to find a way to get the end of things. And that's what I love from Arsenal, even from home. When they are at home, they tend to like express themselves, show their fans the beautiful football that they know how to play, and that leaves gaps in the back at the back for opponents strikers to take advantage of. But we don't we won't see many of those type of chances when they're away from home against any opponents. And that's why I'm still going to keep Saliba for one game, just for one game. Whether he scores or not, he's going to be living against Liverpool for game week 9. Not going to be my team. For Rogers, and okay, for the defense, Saliba, if I'm going to be sending Saliba around, it no is going to be my defender of choice. Picking a defender right now is quite difficult because not we're not seeing many clean sheets, and that means if I'm not going to be seeing many clean sheets, why not take one of the players who has upside for attacking returns? I think Itnuri has about 2 goals so far this season, and I think about 2 assists as well, 2 to 3 assists as well. And when you look at the fixtures they have coming up, I'll be showing that very soon. brilliant fixtures, a sea of green fixtures from about game week 9 down to about game week 17. They have a brilliant set of fixtures. So it's the one I'm looking at for transfers in Rogers and Smith Rowe. I mentioned Rogers is not like, yeah, people will say, what do you expect from a 5 billion asset? Yes, I know it's 5 billion, but I expect every position of my team to give me points. That's the essence of game, playing the game, points. And if Rogers scores a goal or gives me an assist, I'm like, thank God. But if if he doesn't score, I'm like, what was I expecting? He's just brilliant on the pitch, but I'm not always expecting him to give me points. So for Rogers and Smith Rowe, anyone who blanks is going out in game week 9. That's how I'm seeing the game because I plan on rolling my transfer for game week 8. I'm not seeing any clear cut transfers to make for game week 8 because of the setup of my team. I'm not seeing any clear cut transfers to make. So anyone who blanks is going out. And I think more of Smith Rowe as compared to Rogers because Rogers has Bournemouth at home in game week 9. So even if he blanks, that's a brilliant fixture for Rogers. But if Smith Rowe blanks, is going away to Everton. Smith Rowe has not returned away from home this season. So I think this is his last chance to prove if he wants to remain in my team. And if I sell him, Johnson is the midfielder that I think I would like in my team because again, I'm not seeing a lot of brilliant options. The only options I was seeing generally in the old FPL is they are the premium assets, your Salahs, your Sakas, your Palmers, and the cheaper assets, your McNeils, your Smith Rose Rogers, they performed in the previous games, but also like your Semenyos, and I'm not just seeing enough from our budget options, even the mid price. The mid price is, I think, one of the biggest points to get assets. If you want to look at likes of maybe Bowen or Madison or yeah, but this Johnson is the one I'm looking at because he has had 6 goals in his last 6 games in all competitions. Brilliant for Spurs, and yeah, he's one I'll be looking at for transfers in this year. This year, I see how that temptation to just ride the green fixtures with him. But for how long do you want to keep a player without him getting the points? If he's ever going to give me points, it has to be away to Ipswich. It has to be away to Ipswich. He has to give me the points because um, I think you need a budget striker option in your team, regardless, because we've seen likes of Delap, likes of Chris Wood, likes of Danny Welbeck giving points. Danny Welbeck has matched average so far this season in terms of points. So that's also they see value to be added in the budget options. They see value to be added, but you just need to get on the right one at the right time. I think I brought in Diesel at the right time, but what can I do? He has not performed. So he's one I'm looking at for the transfer um section. And oh, I wrote Saka right there. That should have been updated. The yeah, Sri Lanka is the one that I intend to transfer in for Calvert Lewin. If I plan on selling Calvert Lewin, is one I plan to bring in because I know he has not given owners so far the height that they would have hoped from Sri Lanka. And in fact, he has not, owners are not really impressed. They are still going to hold on to him, obviously, but they're not impressed because we have not seen bonus points from him so far. We have not even seen hauls from him so far. And especially in the game against Brighton, he had 0 shots. He was playing a type of hurricane role, like a type of false nine. I don't want to see that from Sri Lanka because, like, if you're going to play false nine, you have to have the attributes of a false nine, like high range of like quality passing range, and a bit of dribbling as well. You have to have those attributes. Sri Lanka is not that guy. Sri Lanka is a poacher. Like he waits at the box in the should I say in the box, the especially that inner box, the 6 yard box. You always find him in those type of positions, like a predator striker. And I would like to see that from Sri Lanka against West Ham to confirm me signing him in game week 9. So basically, my transfer plans are not for game 8, they're for game week 9 because I'm not seeing any clear cuts transfers to make for game 8. So I'm going to use game week 8 to make a test, or should I say, to see who I'm going to get into my team. Saliba, whether I like it or not, is going out in game week 9. And Ryan, this transfer is as good as locked. Saliba to Ryan Itnuri, it is locked for game week 9. I just hope that Saliba gets me a goal and a clean sheet, a 15 points. That would be brilliant from Saliba for game week 8. That would be brilliant. So, this is how my team will be looking like for game week 8. Alan would be my captain against Wolves. Wolves have been horrible in defense this season. I think they've conceded about 21 goals so far this season. They conceded 6 against Chelsea. They conceded 5 against Brentford. I wonder how many they'll concede against Man City. And Ireland has never blanked in 3 consecutive games in the Premier League so far since his transfer to 2 seasons ago. He has never blanked, and I don't think this is a game he's going to blank. He's going to get a minimum of 2 goals this match. So that's why I'm giving him the captain's armband. And Salah with the vice captain, I expect Salah to come back into the fold in terms of goal scoring. I expect goals from him against Chelsea. Chelsea is going to be missing Fofana as well as Marco Correa. They'll be missing both players due to suspension. 5 yellow cards each in the first 7 game weeks for 2 players in the same team. That just shows how, should I say, not horrible. Horrible is not the word, but they've been susceptible to chances. Chelsea creating errors for themselves, and I just see Chelsea taking advantage of that. So I say Salah taking advantage of that rather. Salah has Chelsea at home. That was an error. Chelsea at home. And Salah has only been brilliant at home. We always back him at home. Anytime he plays at home. I'm hopeful for saves from Sanchez. If he can get me 1 or 2 save points, that'll be brilliant for me. I'm expecting a goal. Just give me this 1 goal, Saliba, and they're off. Just give me this 1 goal. Just sign out with a good note. And if you prove to me that you're worth transferring in later in the line, maybe around game 12, in that huge transfer swing, I'll consider bringing you back into the fold. Mboma against Man U, I expect him to keep on the good work. Mbomo penalty. Anyhow you want to score a goal, score. Smith Rowe, Rogers, DCL. Any blank, you are out. Any blank, you are out of my team. I've given you guys enough time, and let me just drive into the FPL landscape for now. In terms of FPL, we have seen that so far you need not a minimum, you need 3 premium assets in your team going forward. 3 premium assets. I think Palmer should be in everyone's team, regardless. He's the best not the best. I think Alan is the best asset in the game in terms of what he offers and what he's capable of doing. But in that midfield spot, Palmer is the best, and I think you should have him. I'm not sure you should be bringing him in ahead of these fixtures. I'm not sure if you should be bringing, like, no matter how good you are, I cannot bring you in ahead of a tough run. I cannot. I can hold you through a tough run, but to bring you in ahead of it, I can't do that. So if there are other transfer that you could make, you could hold on. It's not like a must transfer in. That's just the point I'm trying to make. If you don't have any should I say, fire support out. If you like the way your team is set up, then you can bring in Palmer. If you like the way your team is set up and you don't have any like urgent transfer that you need to make, and you have enough transfers as well, I will not be bringing Palmer or Saka in for a hit. For Mo Salah, if you have Mo Salah, I mean, I've been seeing transfers out for Mo Salah, and I don't think it should be sold. I mean, in game week, the first 4 to 5 game weeks, Salah was regarded as a must own basically in the FPL landscape. Everybody wanted to have Salah, and all of a sudden, people are selling him because Saka got 16 points and he blanked. The reverse was the case the previous game week. Everybody wanted to sell Saka for Palmer. Now Saka, like, it could be another premium asset in the next game week. That was the point. It could be another premium. And I'm not of the opinion of yes, you can move premium assets in and out depending on fixtures, but if you're going to use that strategy, I would rather you consider a minimum of 7 game weeks or should I say 6 to 7 game weeks, like a block of 6 to 7 good fixtures. If a player has like 2 to 3 bad fixtures and you want to sell him to bring him back in, I don't think that transfer is worth it. So, for instance, Saka, if you have Saka, is a hold. If you have Palmer, is a hold. If you have Salah, is a hold. These players, you should just hold them through. You just have to hold them through. Um, Mo Salah now, he has I think Brighton, Villa, and Southampton coming up after Chelsea and Arsenal are out of the way. And I tend to hold Salah through those fixtures. Salah is going to the Emirates, and I mentioned how Arsenal is susceptible to chances at the Emirates. I expect Salah to score in that game, even if that's like kind of the worst fixture Salah is going to have all year. That's the worst fixture he's going to have. But I still expect him to score in that game, especially if Calafiori is still playing at the left back for Arsenal. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant defender. He's good going forward as well. But I've seen him get done in um in previous games. The game against Leicester, the game against Southampton, the game against Spurs as well, I guess. Okay, no, not against Spurs, Man City. It was the cause of not cause, but against Man City, Savio like dribbled in. Like the right wingers have always been getting one ahead of Calafiori. That's the point I'm trying to make. Forgive me for the rambling. That's the point I'm trying to make. Right wingers have had a good game against Calafiori every match, and I expect Salah to have the same. So these are fixtures where I expect Salah to score goals in. I expect him to score goals in. So in a good space in terms of how you are confident in your team. Just hold these players through. Just hold these players through. Now, for your budget options, like for you to have 3 premiums, you're going to have like budget options. You need those budget options to be delivering as well. What do I mean? In a game week like the one I had in game week 7, if the premium assets fail to deliver points, the budget options cannot also not deliver points. It's not, should I say, it's not done. Like they have to also give you points as well. So because you are relying most game weeks on your premiums and you are hoping for points from your budget options. But your budget options have to be, if not, your team would just basically look like as if you have 4 players instead of 7 in the attack. So look as if I have just Salah, Palmer, Mbomo, and Haaland instead of a host of 7 quality players. So that's why I'm looking at chopping some of them off the board in game week 9. So they have to do a lot of work for me in game week 8. So remain my team for game week 9. Yeah, and from a football perspective, I don't make this video longer than it is. I know it's a little too long, but forgive me, I just have a lot to say. Yeah, so from a football perspective, I'll just give a uh, round overview. For Manchester United, they've been horrible. No matter how good you are as a team, even if you assemble the best players in the world, if they don't have a good coach, they can't play a brilliant football. No matter how good you are, you cannot if you don't have a quality, if you are not well coached as a football team, you can't deliver. A should I say an average team, a well coached average team would beat a should I say, a team of quality players that does not have a coach, if that makes sense. I don't know how to put those words together, but if that makes sense, if you have a team of average players, let's say, forgive me, let me just use the example of Fulham. Fulham is a well coached team for what they've done so far this season. Like so far this season, I think they've only lost 2 games. That's against Manchester United and against Man City. 2 good teams, you understand? So for Man U, I'm not seeing a clear structure. I'm not seeing a clear strategy. I'm not seeing a defined way they want to be playing, and that's not um impressive. And if I was Yona, Tenaguda. It just depends on, like, for instance, now one would have sacked Ateta many years ago when he was also delivering this type of performance for like what we are seeing against for Man U. Tenag would have also gone. I was trying to say Ateta should have also gone that way. But if you trust, I mean, that time we were seeing what Ateta wanted to do. So one would say, okay, yes, the board was right for keeping him. And seeing what he was trying to do, we're seeing the brand of football he was trying to build for Arsenal. I'm not seeing anything from Ten Hag, and I think he has to go. Looking at Chelsea, I've mentioned. I think I've given a brief on Chelsea. They're brilliant going forward, not so good at the back, and they need to improve. Sanchez could be swapped for another keeper um if Maresca wants to take advantage of that build up phase. If he wants to make that build up phase more impressive, he needs a top quality goalkeeper, a goalkeeper that is good at like with the ball at his feet. Arsenal, I've mentioned how they are better away from home as compared to at home. Everybody's always saying hey, Emirates is a tough place to go to. Yes, it's a tough place to go to, but I think you have a better chance scoring against Arsenal at the Emirates than at your own home. Yes, I will say that. You have a better chance of scoring at the Emirates than in your own home. Liverpool, for that defense, they've been impressive, and that's just due to how their setup has changed slightly when we see what Klopp was doing for Liverpool last season as compared to what Slot is doing for Liverpool right now. They are not taking a lot of risk, and that's what is helping them. They're not taking a lot of risks. They're taking risks though, but not a lot of those risks. They make more careful passes as compared to riskier passes. They don't cross more often, and that's why we're seeing Trent not delivering the heights we are expected to see from that type of quality player in terms of FPL now. We're not seeing those assists, and that's because Trent always drifts inward as compared to like outward. We always see like when we saw Klopp a few seasons ago, he was always at the right flank. Salah drifts inward as like an inverted winger, and that does allow Arnold to whip a lot of beautiful crosses in. But I'm not seeing that as often as possible, and that's why. But from a defense and a general football perspective for Liverpool, they've been brilliant. Um, Gravenberch has also been, should I say, an upliftment, if I can use that word, this season. They are brilliant, partnering with McAllister and midfield, brilliant. Spurs had a horror show against Brighton, and that's what I've been seeing for Spurs year after year. To be consistent, like consistency was the issue with Spurs. Like they can go on a three a 3 to 4 game winning run, then another 3 to 4 game run of not winning, if that makes sense. So 2 goals up against Brighton halftime, and all of a sudden, I mean, the second half was like forget about tactics. Tactics was out of the window in the second half. It was pure about who wants it more. And I think Brighton wanted to get back in the game. I didn't see any like tactics. So basically, what Brighton did in the second half, they contested more. They won basically all their draws in the second half. Um, they won all their second balls as well, and that's just what made it easier for Brighton to get back in the game. And there was a period of momentum shift as well. Like this psychological part of football where once you get should I say the first goal, the all the fans, you're at home, the fans get behind you, and you just see that fight or that fight just get another goal. Once you get two, you also know that the third one is coming. And the lot Tottenham just lost control of that game. They lost battle midfield, and yeah, they just need to be consistent. That's just what Spurs need, consistency. I don't want to make this video longer than this. Um, we're currently in international break, so enjoy the uh, football games with the countries. Enjoy the international break, and I'll see you guys very soon. Yeah, cheers. Thank you for watching.